I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
No, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. It feels good to Geico.
It's time for the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games at Southern Utah University in Cedar City. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of a Utah sports tradition at utahsummergames.org. Participate in over 50 sports around the state. Then plan to join the opening ceremonies Friday, June 5th, presented by State Bank of Southern Utah. Register today to participate in the 40th anniversary season of the Larry H. Miller Utah Summer Games.
It's time to get your morning started with the news you need to know.
News update.
This is what's trending with DJ and PK. Hashtag NBA.
You're taking a little bit of grief from what you said about Jalen Brunson.
You are. I'm not big in that.
I never say. Hey.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying.
No, I mean I speak from experience, and I never. Allen Iverson got MVP, and he lost in the finals, and I think the two best teams are probably in the West. But I'm up for being proven wrong. And that's the other thing is I think Jalen Brunson's a hell of a player. I'm speaking historically on the NBA with what I said. I don't know why that's being brought, why everybody's so stuck on that. I said it 2 years ago. I stand by it.
I'm letting you clear the air.
There's no air to be cleared. I said what I said. He proves me wrong. I mean, good for him. But I do think the two best teams are in the West.
We know who you like, right?
Oh, well, you know who I'm cheering for.
That's Becky Hammond, who used to be an assistant coach in San Antonio, now a head coach in the WNBA, not backing away from her stance on Jalen Brunson. When your best player is 6'2" or under, can you win a title? There's a couple exceptions out there. Well, actually, Steph Curry's probably a little bigger than 6'2", but Curry and Isaiah Thomas viewed as two little guys who've led teams to titles. She's banking on history. She's not the only one. But
you're right there. Man.
I am right there.
She's speaking your language, man.
Yep.
You love history.
The Knicks waiting. Who will they get? Brunson 4 wins away from the title, being one of the rare little guys to pull it off. Can they do it? First, they have to wait to see who they play. San Antonio hosting Oklahoma City tonight. Thunder up 3-2. They can close it out. Or back to Oklahoma City for a Game 7. 6:30 tonight, NBC and Peacock. NBA issued a warning to Victor Wembanyama for skipping post-game media after Game 5. He'll be subject to fines and other punishment if he skips future post-game media sessions. And don't do it again. President Donald Trump says he'll attend an NBA Finals game in Madison Square Garden. He said he'll be in attendance after being invited to a game by Knicks owner James Dolan. So prepare for extra security and get there early. For the two of you from Utah who are going. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NFL.
It's just like two guys in a classroom. He sits on one side, I sit on the other side, and it's the coach's responsibility to teach us and coach us. So,
is there any awkwardness between you two?
Awkwardness, it's just like the same feeling, when you're in high school and there's another person on the other side of the room. That's just kind of how it is. So I wouldn't say there's any awkwardness.
That's J.J. McCarthy on competing with Kyler Murray to be the Vikings' starting quarterback. Why be awkward? You're not there to be best friends. You're there to win the starting quarterback job. And even if you're the backup, you better be prepared because you're one play away from going in. So why spend time on awkwardness?
Well, it is awkward.
I want what you want. You want what I want.
I mean, Montana and Young had it for years.
Yep.
So, we understand that, but
I think that would be
part of the deal.
It is part of the deal. And I think that would be more awkward because there's more of a feeling like those guys can do it. I guess it could still be awkward even if there's questions about whether either guy can do it.
Well, we're each striving for something.
One
of us is going to get it and the other isn't. So, I want you to suck and I want me to do well.
Veteran pass rusher Von Miller said he intends to play this season. He's lobbied for the Denver Broncos to bring him back to to the franchise he helped lead to the last Super Bowl title. He was MVP in that game. Says he feels healthy and capable of still getting after the quarterback, despite the fact he's now 37 years old. Can't really think of any defensive ends in their mid to late 30s, can you?
Oh, you love history.
Explosiveness? No, right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
I can't name one.
Yeah, me neither.
But I don't know how old they are. I don't track their ages.
Khalil Mack's 35.
I did not know Von Miller was 37, so I'd have to look. I couldn't tell you his age.
Joey Bosa's getting into that range as well. But
Joey Bosa's getting in that range, I believe.
I'm being told. Lamar Jackson expressed his love for the Baltimore Ravens and said he envisions himself with the franchise long term. He's working on a new contract. Would you move on from Lamar Jackson?
If I had somebody better, yes.
Yes. Well, they don't have anybody better now.
Then no.
But you could move on and try to pick somebody up in the next draft.
Well, why wouldn't they?
Or two.
Is that news? Isn't that the way it always is?
I think if they dumped him right now and moved on, it would definitely be news, yes.
But they're not going to.
Yeah.
That's not the question. The question is it news that they're going to look for another quarterback in the draft? Yes, of course. Everybody does.
But he's still good enough that he'll win enough games that they won't have. I wouldn't think they wouldn't have great draft
because
position.
they think he's good enough. I think he's good enough. And then there'll come a time when he's not good enough.
DJ and PK.
Hashtag college football.
SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey touted the conference as the best league by far, despite the recent Big Ten Conference dominance, winning titles in college football 3 years in a row, and also winning in college basketball. And UCLA looks really good in baseball. The SEC's got a bunch of teams hosting. We'll see how that plays out. If you look at the entirety of our league, Sankey says, we are by far the most competitive, the strongest football league. By far. He's just going to keep lobbying.
Well, yeah. It's
got
like,
him 5 teams in last year.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
You made a big deal out of Sarkisian. Oh, their second team can't. It's not what he was saying. He's saying we're better. Come to us. This guy, we're better. Give us more money. Young men, young women, come to our places. It's all politicking. I get it. It's a reason why your mark says we have the second best basketball league in the world. No, you don't.
No, you don't.
But you say that.
But he's not going to stop saying it.
Yeah, all these people are salesmen. Why? Follow the friggin' money.
Commissioners get paid.
It will always lead you to the agenda and the motive.
Commissioners get paid a ton of cash.
The only time money doesn't lead you always is love. Every other time, follow the money, you'll find out the motive and the agenda.
And with love, it's only sometimes?
Yes.
That is hit or miss.
Right.
There are people who don't marry for money. There are people who do marry for money.
Yeah, well, that's more of an emotional thing, love. But other than that, and you can throw in money/power. It's kind of the same thing.
Power may not get you money right away, but it will in the long run.
I mean, it's why these people stay in political positions and they're 89 years old. They can't give up the power.
Falling asleep in their soup. Yeah. New bipartisan bill introduced in the U.S. Senate in an effort to put guardrails in place and stabilize college sports. Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell proposed the Protect College Sports Act, which would provide the NCAA with antitrust exemption to enforce several rules that have been challenged in court in recent years, including limiting athletes to transferring one time, limiting them to 5 years of eligibility, prohibiting former pro athletes from playing in college, prohibiting schools from poaching a coach from another school during their sports season. Goes on and on. It also has a provision to give conferences an option to negotiate future TV deals as one large group and share the money more evenly, as long as 75% of the schools agree to join. But the SEC and Big Ten are making the most money, can stop that from happening. They don't join, they don't get to 75%. So,
well, actually, that's wrong, because currently it would be 75% without them. They're exempted from that provision as it's written right now.
You two debate this. I'm out.
A lot of this comes from Cody down there at Texas Tech. Apparently, he's been hip deep with them helping draft this. Now it's got to negotiate committees and politics and back and forth and be amended and changed. So we'll see. DJ and PK.
Hashtag Major League Baseball.
Last night, Murakami hits one deep. Left field. Number 20. 14-1.
Here comes the 3-2. Swung on and destroyed. Left center field. It is going to go. Sail away. Julio. 3-run home run. It's all Mariners now. 9-0 over the A's. An exclamation point.
Here's a 1-1 from Sugano. Ohtani hammers it to dead center. This ball heading back. It is gone. A home run. A leadoff home run, the 28th of his career. Ohtani makes it 1-0. Shohei Ohtani knows how to bring the fans to their feet.
Shohei Ohtani with the home run there. Dodgers added another in the first. They're up 2-0. They go on to win 4-1. Shohei pitching 1 run, no hits. He did walk 4 over 6 innings. He continues to amaze. The ERA is still below 1. It's 0.82 right now. Is there anything he can't do, PK? It's just he can't do it all.
Idea about his cooking skills.
Can't do it all at once. His cooking skills.
You asked me if there's anything he couldn't do.
Nice. You heard the White Sox blowing out the Twins in there. 15-2, the final score in that one. Tons of blowouts. Orioles 11-2 over the Rays. Red Sox taking it to the Braves 8-0. Braves having a really good year, but not today. Or not yesterday.
You got the baseball page open, huh?
I do. The Padres. Do the Padres remind you of the Cleveland Cavaliers? Going to have a good season, but against the best. Phillies went in there, beat them 3-0, sweep them.
Well, I think the story is Christopher Sanchez broke a 115-year-old record for the Phillies with the scoreless streak.
44.2 innings.
Grover Cleveland Alexander or something. Or is it Alexander Cleveland? I always get those guys confused.
Grover Cleveland Alexander. Hall of Famer.
Nikhil Grover Alexander. Grover Nikhil Anderson. I don't know.
Closing in on Hershiser, but probably 2 or 3 starts away still. Hershiser has the Major League record. Major League Baseball Players Association made their first formal proposal in collective bargaining talks with Major League Baseball. This gets underway. It's one more box that has to be checked before they expand, PK. Share more local TV revenue than the current CBA stipulates. And a competitive integrity tax, so for low-spending teams. So they're going to have to spend money or they're going to have to write a check. And double the minimum salary. Right now, everybody in the majors, the minimum $785,000. They take it to $1.5 million.
It's all window dressing.
Yep. Get that done, and then it's one more box on the way to Major League Baseball adding teams 31 and 32.
I don't know if they're going to get it done anytime soon. I mean, it's all about the salary
cap.
You can have
all these other
Tuesdays
issues
off or whatever you want,
right?
Until you get to that point,
and then we'll see how damaged the 27 season gets. Bees lose to Round Rock 5-4. Game 3 in the series tonight. Tony Park's on the call at 5:30 on 1280 The Zone. DJ and PK.
Hashtag golf.
PGA Tour at the Colonial Country Club, Fort Worth, Texas. It's the Charles Schwab Challenge. Local guys in the field, Tony Finau, Zach Blair, Patrick Fishburne. I don't know how deep a dive you've taken into this. Is this one of the events that we're seeing for the last time before they reorganize the tour?
Well, I think they put the schedule out. You can go look at it. And I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already been releasing that. I looked at it.
I thought there was still a little room for negotiation on this.
It's way below my interest.
Yeah. DJ and PK.
Hashtag NHL.
2-on-1 for Carolina. Blake and Stankoven coming in. Blake, Stankoven, 3-0 Carolina. It's a huge goal. Sent across Logan Stankoven. There is his 8th of the postseason. And the Hurricanes have ripped the top off of this game.
Carolina scoring 3 times in less than 3 minutes late in the first period. They had an empty netter late. They shut out Montreal 4-0. They're up 3-1 in the Eastern Final. They are on the cusp of meeting Vegas in the Stanley Cup Final. Hard to believe they won't pull it off at this point. It was hard for Montreal to even get shots on goal. Pretty dominant there. What is Trending is brought to you by Shamrock Plumbing. There's no job too big or too small. Get the personal touch with Shamrock Plumbing. Coming up this morning, Brian Geltzeiler, SiriusXM NBA radio host, NBA TV contributor, joins us at 8:30. Scott Springer, Cincinnati Bearcats beat reporter for the Cincinnati Enquirer, will join us at 9 o'clock as our spring football tour continues. We will get to the question of the day next. College football fans gather around. Anonymous quotes are floating around. We'll get to that next. Stay with us.
3, 2, 1. This is Scotty G and Coach Tim LaCombe.
Look, I remember the early days of Shaq. If you're kids these days, you just only know Shaq from inside the NBA, or maybe the later years when he was hopping team to team and was a little out of shape and bigger than he needed to be. You go back and you watch those early 1, 2, 3 years when he was in Orlando, when he was svelte, and that dude, you watched him, you're like, he's changing the game. Shaq changed the game.
With sheer force, and you're exactly right, there was a revolution when Shaq came, no question.
And what we're seeing now is Wemby doing that. Wemby is changing the game of basketball. Not that you can replicate it, because you can't. You can't replicate Wemby, or we'd all be trying to go to the DNA, the dinosaur DNA with the old dude on the island and trying to recreate. You can't. That dude is one of one.
Welcome to Jurassic Park. Catch Scotty G and Coach weekdays from 10 to 2. Presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now it's the final days of our Everything's on Sale event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses. Our Memorial Day event ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
DJ and PK, our question of the morning. There's an anonymous Big 12 coach out there who says BYU is the best football team in the conference with the best coaches and is the most physical team. What is your assessment of this? Case dismisses the whole thing. You can say what you want. In sports, you must prove it.
So that would be case dismissed?
Case dismissed. That's well done. He spells it C-A-Y-C-E, so that didn't even occur to me. Very nice. Well played. Boom, boom. There were a bunch of these that I just wasn't on the same page with these people. It's weird. Lately, the takes have been like exactly what I was thinking, and this one not even close. Vernon, way to go, Coach Jay Hill. Didn't even occur to me. Are you saying it's a good quote from Jay Hill, or he made them the most physical team?
I don't think that Jay Hill would be involved in this. I think that
agree.
It's within the conference.
Yeah, he's not an anonymous Big 12 coach anymore.
Right. Yeah. So I thought that's what I thought at first. Like, why? And then I thought, well, maybe he's congratulating BYU for making him more physical.
Well, Jay Hill improved the defense. I don't think there's any question about that.
Yeah, but a big part of being physical is, O-line, run the ball, all that kind of stuff.
Certainly is.
Yeah.
But another big part is defensively.
True, but
complimentary football, buddy boy.
And that's why I'd go right to Kalani. That's one of Kalani's favorite quotes. He loves himself some complimentary football.
I love uncomplimentary football.
I think that's just the way a head coach. Everybody's on notice here. But you say it positively. Complimentary football.
I think that Jay Hill played a significant factor in BYU being really good, and it's one of the reasons Kyle quickly gobbled him up. Duh. Right? I mean, we all like the guy, know the guy, and that's nice and all, but you got to have results, and he had results.
Without question.
Yeah.
They were glorious.
Right.
Josh says, hey, let's hear from the angry Ute fans first. Josh does not want any of this.
Okay, well, if you can figure out if they are, then yeah.
Well, here's Tyler. So it's a BYU coach. ...
No, it's not.
Ha ha.
No, the way these things go is they get an anonymous coach to comment on each team. I don't believe it's the same anonymous coach. It's different coaches.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to me, when I saw that, Jay Drew had a piece in the Deseret News on it.
He did.
And that's where I saw it, that it would be, and this time of year, you're always looking for stuff to write so you can get the editors off your back because there's not a...
They need content.
Yeah.
All right, here's your content.
More than ever.
Right, yeah. Yep.
Literally more than ever because you're relying on internet stuff, and so they got to come to you, and that's something you can sell as opposed to the old days. You had the subscriptions, and if you put crap on a particular Tuesday, well, it didn't matter.
You saw subscriptions,
Yeah.
and now it matters.
Right.
And you could fill the paper occasionally with some big piece got off the wire or something. And now,
do that every day.
must have BYU, Utah State, Jazz, Mammoth content every day. And everyone
Basically, yes.
Yeah, every one of those beat writers is hearing it.
Yeah, oh yeah. And then actually they do a really good job of generating off-season content. All of them do.
Jay spent some of the time in that explaining that he writes for Athlon.
But he doesn't do that.
But he
It's not the
doesn't
predictions.
get the anonymous quotes from the other team. So
Right.
he made
No,
a
it's
point
just
of
about
saying,
your team.
Yeah.
I used
don't-
to do it.
I don't know who it is. Somebody else did that part of it.
My guess would be it'd
Texas
be somebody
Tech.
from Texas Tech
Yeah,
to put the
that's-
heat on the Cougars.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
And
Now you're thinking exactly what I'm thinking, but
Yeah.
nobody else thought that.
well, they just don't have your sophisticated shrewdness.
No, they do too.
That has
They
just
do
been
too.
molded through years of difficulty and hard times.
You don't need to do that.
I do for the listener. You already know it. Of course, I don't need it to do it for you. But for the listener to understand where you're coming from, I absolutely have to provide context. You're the king of providing context. The one time I want to freaking provide context, you don't want to hear it.
Steven is the anonymous coach on BYU staff. And I got a bunch of thumbs up and a bunch of laughs.
No.
We think it's on the Texas Tech staff.
Because they were saying they. He would say we.
Yep.
That would be a dead giveaway. We have the best team.
Wait a
You would
minute.
know.
Yeah.
I still think it's Texas Tech. They have the most money. And as I said in the prior segment, follow the money. It will lead you to so many answers. And Tech has it and every year until things change or if and when they change, they're going to have the best transfer class because the kids are going to go for the money. I mean, duh. Randy Bennett, he did a press conference a few weeks back and moved from St. Mary's to ASU.
Basketball
and
coach,
they
yeah.
had a promising center, a foreign guy.
Yeah.
And they asked him about it last year. Hurley recruited him. And they asked him, he said, well, his asking price was too high. And so he went to Gonzaga. And if you wonder why Gonzaga's been good all these years.
There you go. Why do they always have the best big guys?
Yeah. And, it was before all this stuff. But, I mean, that's what people had told me for years. And so he went there to get more money. Okay, I'm all for it. They don't have as much money. And they don't have their most money because at the press conference, the athletic director said, we're not going to be NIL-based. Which is saying we don't have enough money. If you had enough money, we're going to be
We'll be NIL based.
Yeah.
How's Texas?
They wouldn't quite say it that way because that's too seedy. You'd couch it differently. But essentially, if you have the most money, you're most likely going to get the best talent. And Texas Tech, now since the transfer portal combined with the NIL, they have had the highest ranked transfer class, and they're going to have it again this year. And so, Sorsby aside, they're going to be the favorite.
And they're going to be physically very tough to handle.
Yeah.
As we saw when they played Utah and BYU twice.
That's why it was such a big deal when they actually lost when the Devils beat them.
Shocking. How'd that happen?
Well, because they had a quarterback who was good, and an NFL receiver, and a running back who ran for over 1,000 yards, and the receiver went to the NFL, the quarterback went to LSU, and the running back went to Texas.
There you go.
Because they don't have enough money.
Follow the money.
Yeah.
Cameron says it's not a weird take. BYU's been the most consistent team in the Big 12 the past couple of seasons and seem to have an identity where they are physical on both offense and defense. Yeah, I can see where Cameron's going with that. While I wouldn't agree that they are the most physical team because I saw Texas Tech be more physical 3 times against our 2 local schools here, it's also Utah and BYU aren't that far away. So if somebody comes out and says BYU is now the most physical team,
yeah, but
it's
I
not
want
weird.
the best
I wouldn't
team.
say it.
The most physical.
Oh,
you don't
I
get
know.
a trophy for that.
No, but coaches, they get all warm and fuzzy over there. Oh, we're physical.
Well, I mean, football is a physical game.
Sure.
So everybody is.
Your O-line needs to push their D-line around and vice versa.
I want guys who can make plays in their respective positions. And that make plays in the offense is to move the line, running backs to get the ball downfield through their legs, blah, blah, blah. We all know what the story is there. So the most physical, great. As long as it leads to wins, I'm all for it.
John says this take is spot on. Period. End of story.
I don't think they're the best team. I don't see how you can go. Now, they could end up being the best team, but here in May, I don't think you can conclusively say they are the best team.
Would you feel comfortable saying that about anyone, even Texas Tech?
Yes. Until proven otherwise. Which
Could
everything that you say months before is until proven otherwise.
Especially, I didn't know if you were going to, I'm defaulting to Texas Tech, or if you're going to, we largely know who the contenders are, but with the transfer portal and injuries, you got 2 wild cards. You can't guarantee anything.
I don't think the transfer portal is that big of a wild card anymore.
The teams is a wild card for. It's more about getting from the bottom to the middle or the middle to the top. It's not about winning it.
Like when David Bailey went, he wasn't a wild card.
He was really good.
And he was a high first-round pick. So you look at these guys, and now, when I say used to be, I'm talking like 2 years ago.
I was going to say 3 or 4, but yeah.
Guys who were moving up. How will they do? Well, now we've had a great track record of guys who are really good at North Dakota, and then they move up. They had a defensive back, was safety, who moved up and was really good. So if you're really good at that level, it's not always, obviously, but there's a track record. If you're really good, and the scouting now is so complete and comprehensive that I default to, Texas Tech thinks this kid from North Dakota is really good because they're paying him a good amount of money. And so they've studied him, they've watched tape on him, blah, blah, blah. And so if those people who are eyeball deep in it, and some guys, literally that's their job every day, and they go to McGuire and go to the team's general manager, this player X is worth this amount. Yep. I have a level of confidence in those guys that they know what they're doing because there's been a number of kids who've moved up. Not everybody that Texas Tech brought in last year on that defense was from a high Power 4 team. There were several guys, the Romello, the guys are coming from lower levels, but they're really good. And they've been scouted, and they've proven it at the collegiate level, which even Big Sky, if they ever played Corner Canyon, would kick the crap out of them, right? We all agree on that, right? And so I have that confidence that these guys are good. So I think the transfer class, when it's said and done, I think you can get a good read on, okay, who are they and what are they going to bring to the table? It's not necessarily a big mystery anymore.
I get why you would say that at Texas Tech and at BYU, where coaching staffs have been in place for a while. But can you say that at Oklahoma State and West Virginia, for instance, just because it's 2 teams in this league and they have first and second year coaches?
85 new guys, as Barry Tremble was saying, then no. That's too many. Rich Rod had that very thing last year.
Is it more that? But see, that's the thing. Like Dion the first year had a gazillion. It didn't work the first year. West Virginia had a gazillion the first year. It didn't work the first year. Now we'll see how Oklahoma State does the first year. I'm just wondering what kind of trends we should be looking for that tip you off. hey, I can look at Texas Tech and BYU because those coaching staffs have been in place for a while and they've won for a while. And so when they say transfer classes are good, I believe them.
I look at the individuals. When Cade Uvalde comes in from Cal, I don't need to say that's a mystery. That's not a mystery. He's going to come in and he's going to play really well.
But don't trust the first-year coaches.
Well, they're under if the first-year coach is replacing someone who got fired, right. It's whether it's transfer portal or not. The first-year coach replacing somebody who got fired is always going to be a rebuilding year. It's just going to be with different guys rather than the same guys. Now, I know people are screaming at their radio right now, well, what about Urban Meyer from Ron McBride? Okay, yeah.
But that goes back to your point about, hey, we're having to adjust our expectations. All the rules changed 2-3 years ago with NIL and transfer. I mean, certainly if you get back before the 20s, it was completely different. But even in the early 2021, 22, it was different than it is now.
I expect all first-year coaches replacing somebody who got fired to have a little bit of a struggle. If you're replacing someone who retired or took another job,
you got a chance.
Yeah, like Morgan Scalley. I'm expecting Utah to do very well. Now, that's an unusual situation. He was, in a sense, fired without being fired. You can have your job, but you got no power.
Pushed out.
Yeah. I called up Kyle. I said, yeah, Kyle, I know exactly how you feel. I am down with you completely, man. We've been brothers from different mothers for decades. And
here we go again.
Yeah. You got your gig, but you got no power. Welcome to my world, K-Dub.
K-Dub.
That's what I have him in my phone.
K-Dub.
Yeah. And so, but that was an unusual situation, but obviously he left the program in a good spot. And so we're expecting the Utes. I'm expecting them. I think all three of us are expecting the Utes to be strong contenders in 2026. I'd be surprised if they didn't. I mean, they could get curtailed by injuries, as everything happens that way when, unfortunately, it occurs. But all things being equal right now, at the end of May, I'm expecting them to contend. And if they're playing in the Cowboys Stadium on that first Friday in December, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I'm going to say, okay, yeah. I see it. So the transfer portal is not as big a mystery. But in your cases of those first-year coaches, as you appropriately point out, yes. Because there's so much newness. It's overwhelming new. And that's what's been good about BYU. And they've spoken about that. That year that they went 5-7, they've said they brought in too many guys. And so, all right, if you haven't done anything and then you do it, it's a learning experience. And I appreciate it. Aaron Roderick saying that, Kalani saying that. Be honest.
Yep.
And they were. And then the next couple years, it was about augmenting the roster, not overhauling it. And the results have been pretty doggone good.
Yeah, much better.
Yes. And I think because they also every year have either kids coming home from missions, obviously, or they've been home for X amount of months, and it's their second season, and so now they're ready to contribute at the level we anticipated when we recruited them 3 years ago. And so they don't necessarily need a whole lot of transfers because they're having probably, I haven't crunched the numbers, but they're probably having more new guys or more new guys who are ready to play after they shake off that mission rust than most programs. So they don't need to bring in an overwhelming amount. Just bring in where you have a particular need, and that's where they've kicked butt, where they've had a particular need. I mean, obviously, I just spoke of the linebacker, but clearly Bachmeier.
Obvious need there. That's even a better example than linebacker. Like they bring in
the
Kelly.
Position is more important.
They bring in Kelly really good, but they also had a lot of linebackers. Who's to say if they hadn't brought him in, would they've had bad linebacking play?
Probably not, but he was really good.
He was really good.
And he was fun to watch. And he got drafted.
To the NFL. Away you go.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is that.
I guess you could still say that's a need. You always need a guy if he's going to be drafted.
He's going to be
drafted by the NFL, you need him.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is that he moves from Weber. We've had a number, and the list is it's probably 150 deep of kids who move up, and they were really good at this level. And it's no longer that big of a jump.
No, it's actually because they're tracking it now. Back to your point about this is all brand new and they've just got to learn. They've tracked it across college coaches are tracking across all of college football, and you're more likely to get a good player getting somebody who's moving up from the Big Sky or the Mountain West to the Big 12 than you are if you get someone from another Power 4 league. Now, everybody sitting out there can cite examples of guys who busted moving up or guys who really excelled when they switched, but they're tracking the entire numbers and they're seeing you're more likely to get someone who's moving up. And I haven't had a conversation yet about have you tracked it by position? I bet they have.
I'm sure
and
they
I
have.
bet it's different for different positions, but still the trend is go raid the Big Sky in the Mountain West. Don't go raid the ACC and the SEC.
If the guy is good and he's played at a high level, at his level, it's no longer shocking. Scattaboo is a great example. Probably as good an example as you're going to find.
Yeah. Right.
And maybe that's the exceptional example. And
you
maybe,
can be a good college player without being a high draft pick.
Right. But they obviously struck gold on that situation, right? And good for them. I'm not sure they had any idea
that it was that good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They thought they had something or they wouldn't have given him a roster spot, but they didn't know they had that.
Right. And it turned out to be an overwhelming success.
Yeah. But this is starting to spread across sports because when you see like San Diego State had a good but not great season, they had a great defense, they didn't have a great offense, and the defense got picked over big time. The defense is scattered to the 4 wins, and most of them follow the money, have gone to a Power 4 school with way more money. So
yeah, and it's also like what Andy Toulson said with his son. You know, you were in a good situation at UVU.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he wants to test himself against better competition because everyone's striving to get to the professional level.
Yep.
And so if you then do it in the Big 12 versus UVU, well, it's a better level of competition.
Right.
And whether it's the NBA or in
case of basketball somewhere in Europe.
Yeah, basketball
but either way,
is a little different because you've got numerous opportunities overseas, but you want to test yourself, and scouts are watching you. So you're basically all these things are now job auditions.
Yep. They're jobs early on. We'll see if universities finally declare them employees.
And
but
you know,
they are
that's
employees.
the way it should be.
What? They should be employees.
No.
Oh.
Well, that's
the
another topic.
Oh, job auditions.
Yeah, auditions. Yeah. And then you are presenting yourself for future employment. And it used to be, okay, we don't want to totally blow off the academics. I get that. But that's up to the individual. If he or she wants to be academically oriented and get that degree, great. We all encourage it. But if you believe your future is at the pro level, then do whatever you can do to get there. And that if that requires going from a Weber State level to a Texas Tech level, then so be it. How would we possibly deny someone for having an advancement career-wise? Because that's essentially what you're doing. And there's a lot of kids, let's face it, particularly with the male gender, who are going to college with the intent of doing well there and then moving on to the professional level.
You can ask any coach, and they'll tell you when they're getting recruited, everybody thinks they're going to the NFL. And obviously they're not, but that's what they're thinking anyway.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean that we make a sham of academics. Hopefully we don't. But for some, they're not really interested in that. I didn't go to Ohio State to play school.
Don't get quotes that have much more honesty than that.
It sounds awful.
But it's honest. It's 100% honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were a quarterback. Every quarterback thinks they're going to the NFL. You went to Ohio State thinking you're going to the NFL.
And this is
there you go.
The system requires you to do that. You can't go.
You can't go to the NFL at 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to wait 3 years.
Right.
So what are you going to do?
So am I going to blame Cardale Jones for that?
Somebody set up a system, and he had no other options.
Yeah.
That was the way it had to go.
Yeah, there's not in basketball. You can't go to the G League or go overseas or whatever like you can in that sport.
Not only will I not blame him, I appreciate the fact he didn't lie to me and treat me like I'm stupid.
But it still sounds seedy.
I get why people say that. I get it.
And the cardigan sweater wearing professors get mad at that.
They do. They do. But nonetheless, it's a system. Look at him. He's a
Go
really
smoke
good,
your pipe.
He's a really good quarterback. Just look at him. He's good.
Yeah.
I watch the games. Of course he wants to go to the NFL.
I wouldn't put BYU the slam dunk best team, but they're certainly in the mix. And really, that's all you want.
Is the preseason poll still gone? They had it year 1. They didn't have it year 2. I assume year 3 they're not going to have it.
It's been done away with for the foreseeable future.
Which is dumb.
I know. Something to talk about.
It's a stupid poll.
If they did it, I assume it would be Tech 1, BYU 2 again.
Well,
I'd have no problem with that.
That's what I would expect, waiting for them to put it out.
Last year down there in Frisco, Barry Trammell decided if they're not going to do it, I'm going to do it myself. So he actually had me vote on it. I'm assuming he'll do that again.
Yeah, it's just that it's not the official one.
I get it.
But we all have an idea. And so what?
Yeah.
If your poll is ridiculous when we get to December, who cares?
No, it's just a fun talking point.
Right.
It's something to talk about.
Right.
And you know it's going to be shaped by injuries and kids blowing up that nobody had any idea, including the coach. There's always somebody, a scatteraboo type, I didn't know. You always say that. And sometimes the kid doesn't even do it in September. Sometimes kids come on in October. There's an injury, they get a chance, and all of a sudden, wow, that kid's a revelation. We see that story all the time.
Yeah, I told you a few days ago about the Khalil Tate.
Mm-hmm.
When he won like Pac-12 Player of the Week 4 weeks in a row. And he wasn't even starting in September.
There it is.
Yeah.
Revelation.
Right. And they had injuries, put him in there, and then he blows up.
All right, DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Coming up, top of the hour, Ute fans gather around the radio. The Arkansas AD is fired off. We'll get to that at the top of the hour. Stay with us.
They've been doing it for a while.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
He covers the NHL for Sportsnet. He is Luke Fox.
Now Austin Matthews is obviously very much in the news, and you've seen the Mammoth's name tied pretty closely to Matthews if he were to hit the trademark.
Utah's interest in Austin Matthews is 100% accurate. They would have to join a few other teams that would probably be raising their hand. If he does say, hey, I want out, for sure the Mammoth would be all over that. The Sharks would be over that. The Kings. There would be a number of teams that would want a player like him because they just don't become available very often, especially when they're in their prime. A couple years back, he scored 69 goals, threatened 70, which hasn't been done since the 90s. So a player like that may or may not become available, absolutely, the Mammoth are all over that. They want a superstar.
Catch Jake and Ben afternoons from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Tusk Top.
DJ and PK, it's 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. We were just talking about the anonymous Big 12 coach. This is BYU is the best team in the conference with the best coaches and the most physical team. We both assumed that came from somebody at Texas Tech. And we both assumed that if they were doing a poll, which they almost certainly are not, the Tech would be 1 and BYU would be 2. Would the next group be Utah, Houston, and ASU in some order, or am I leaving somebody out? Maybe TCU?
Oh, I wouldn't put ASU that high.
Arizona?
I mean, they returned 2 starters.
Arizona and TCU then?
Yeah. That's not to say they can't
do
it.
Do you have a clear 3? A clear number 3? Because I think Tech and BYU are 1 and 2 really clearly. And some people will say that, yes, and other people would say, well, Kyle's gone and Morgan's in charge, so they'll be good, but they won't be that good.
I look at the players. They're not rebuilding.
But they lost high-end difference makers.
Who did?
At some key positions.
Texas Tech did.
True story.
BYU lost Jack Kelly.
They have the most money to reload.
I think they've got enough coming back. I mean, they did. It's not every year you're having 2 first-round picks on your offensive line.
Right.
I understand that completely. I get it. But Dampier, at his best, can move an offense. Now, he's got to get better. You know, you go look at the teams that they played that had big-time winning records. He had crappy games through the air. That's why, to me, don't tell me that this is the best collection of receivers. I'm not going to be Charlie Brown here, and you're not going to be Lucy. I've been hearing this for 15 years.
You'll have to see it to believe it. The last time it was true was 2008. They haven't had a good collection of receivers since the Sugar Bowl team.
And especially with a running quarterback, a dynamic quarterback, play to his strengths, and the backup and can run like the wind. So go, and your top running back is back. If that doesn't
kind of screams running game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Especially because of all the things they have to replace, I actually have the most confidence in the O-line because of what we saw in the bowl game.
There's no question.
They had to. They were already. The next season was already starting. You know, the
change had occurred.
Yes.
First-round picks don't need to be playing in the Vegas Bowl.
Absolutely, 100% not.
Now when you're having contact literally every play.
Take away their helmets. That's just not.
Yeah.
Don't go out there, guys.
Right. And so I agree with you. They obviously showed well.
I have more questions about the D-line. You know, John Henry Daly was a sack machine. Where is the Sac Lake City pass rush coming from?
Would you rather have a sack machine or a love machine?
I'll take the 5th, Your Honor. I guess I answered that.
So, yeah, they're going to have answers. Why I would put them in the second tier, and we'll see how they develop. And I get it. It's not just Morgan; it's new offense,
new OC.
Yes,
new O-line.
And that's a lot to ask for. If Jason Beck was coming back, I'd have more confidence. And that's not to say that McGivern stinks. It's just a new situation where the Dampier Jason Beck situation would be going into its 3rd year of high production. But it's not to be. And I think Jason Beck's really good.
That's why he's getting the big money in Michigan. You're not alone.
Right. And I see him someday being a head coach somewhere.
That's part of him going to Michigan also.
Right.
And it's part of Jay Hill going to Michigan. They know the spotlight gets a lot brighter, but if they look really good, people are going to come calling
it's
quickly.
a move they had to make.
Sure, yeah. And that's not a staff Kyle is likely to have together for 4 or 5 years. I think these guys are going to excel, and I think
know that he's
people
going to be there for 4 or 5 years either.
That's also possible. But I just
it's college football, sports. Who knows? In 5 years,
Michigan's got to be good right now. And in 5 years, who knows what college football is going to look like?
Yeah.
Michigan needs to be good now, and we'll see if these guys are there 1, 2, or 3 years.
But if you wanted to go Houston 3rd, I'm completely comfortable with that. If you even wanted to go Arizona, if you wanted to put the Utes 5th, I'm okay with that.
Utah, Houston, Arizona, TCU. That's the next tier. I have the whole problem with going 3, 4, 5, 6 is by the time you get down to 6, it feels like you're dissing teams. But for instance, last year there were 4, 5, and 6 were all tied at 6 and 3. So what are we splitting hairs over?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I think that the strength of this conference is
the top third.
But where I was going is that you can get down to 6th or 7th, and they're pretty decent teams. And particularly on any given Saturday. And you are kind of just shuffling papers at that point. I think there's a clear-cut 2, and then
there's a group.
There's a group, and then so there are tiers. And teams that are in tiers, which is IERS, I have no problem of them moving up.
Right. Well, you're talking about a group of teams that's 6 and 3, and there's a lot of one-possession games out there, so you're 1 or 2 possessions away from being top 3 or top 2. I mean, Utah was 3 at 7 and 2. Houston, Arizona State can all play woulda, coulda, shoulda. They were 6 and 3. They could have moved up a game. Win one game, move up a spot.
Yeah, but that didn't really get you anything.
No, it really doesn't. It's top 2.
Yeah, did you finish top 2 or not?
You don't really get anything for one. It's just be top 2. That's the real prize. The difference between 1 and 2, negligible.
Well,
maybe
so far you haven't in this conference.
Maybe
you have to have won the game, the Big 12 title game. You know, I wonder if Tech had lost that game, would they have gotten in? You look at who did they beat?
I want to say yes, but I got to lean towards no because it just felt like the Big 12 was only getting one.
That's what I'm saying.
BYU would have swapped out, and Tech, probably when you get to the finish line, Tech would have been like the first or second team out. They might have gotten more talk and more run than BYU got because BYU didn't get any. But in the end, would they have been in? No.
Right.
I mean, they would have been fighting Miami, Notre Dame, and Alabama.
Well, the same teams at BYU.
And they would have lost that.
Mm-hmm. Most likely, yes.
I mean, Notre Dame lost in that fight, so why do I think Texas Tech would have won in that fight?
Well said.
Yeah. All right, DJ and PK, when we come back, Arkansas is playing Utah, and they are not happy about the news they just got. We'll get to that next. Stay with us.
Hey there, it's Wayfair here, where delivery and setup are as easy as a few taps on your phone. You're relaxing in an old hammock, scrolling Wayfair's app, when you spot it, a brand new patio set. Next thing you know, Wayfair delivers it right to your patio and sets it up. Oh, you need a new grill too? All right, Wayfair's got you covered. With Wayfair's Room of Choice delivery and fast expert setup on qualifying orders, life gets a little easier. Visit wayfair.com or the Wayfair app.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Summer is all about freedom, fun, and growing up. And between the ages of 9 and 13, kids are starting to form their views about alcohol. With more independence, their still developing brains need more guidance and support than ever. That's why summer is the perfect time to stay connected and plan fun, safe family activities together. Research shows kids who spend quality time with their parents doing what they enjoy are less likely to drink underage. And when kids feel close to you, they're more likely to listen, especially when you set clear expectations. In fact, kids who drink before 15 are far more likely to struggle with alcohol later. This summer, create a no-bummer summer with fun, alcohol-free activities for your kids. Go to summer.parentsempowered.org to take a quick quiz and discover ideas tailored to your family. A little time together can make a big difference. For more information and to learn more about how to prevent underage drinking, visit parentsempowered.org.